Dr. Dan Purser, danpursermd.com. Welcome. First, I'm going to give you the medical quote of the week. We started this last time, remember?
The greatest disease in the West today is not TB or leprosy. It is being unwanted, unloved, and uncared for. We can cure physical diseases with medicine, but the only cure for loneliness, despair, and hopelessness is love. There are many in the world who are dying for a piece of bread, but there are many more dying for a little love.
This is Dr. Dan Purser, danpursermd.com, bringing you medical magic tidbits and other Western and natural medical ideas. Go to danpursermd.com to book an appointment online. Tonight we're discussing genetic dementia issues and proper nutrigenomics to help possibly prevent those issues along with PCOS and how to ameliorate that. Well, I was asked by a large medical group to give a talk in June. I think it was June. I can't remember. It's been changed so many times. They asked me to speak about design, and the talk was titled, they sent me, Designing Nutrigenomics for the Prevention of Genetic Dementia. What a mouthful. So, because we design products for many companies and stuff like that, it was a fun thing to get into. I don't know if anyone's done the kind of detailed work I've done on these products and projects ever. So it's fun to look at all the data and look at all the studies, and that's what's in the PowerPoint. You've seen the references at the end, and I could add another that many or more easily. I looked at so many references and articles and literature. So it's really interesting that there's a possibility. Nothing's for sure until it's been through a FDA approved, double-blinded, long-term, 20-year study, all that. But there's still some things you might be able to do to help lower your risk for dementia if you have those genetic errors. So, and the girl we used in the study had ApoE4. She was homozygous. She didn't have the ApoE2, which is further down, which can balance out the ApoE4. Plus, she had a GST01. Lack of reduced glutathione worsens the plaque buildup.
Man.
So, and worsens the inflammation in those patients' brains. So it's a double whammy. And that's a major, there's articles that show that direct combination is really bad. So,
you can learn all that in your dementia video that we just put out, right?
Right. So go look at the dementia video. It's got the PowerPoint in there. I blather through it and try and point out all the good things. I talk about a few products that we put together that I was going to talk about in that talk, so you guys can have first shot at them. They're right here. One is I call it brain support, not making any medical claims or anything like that about this. FDA hadn't tested or approved or anything, but it's transresveratrol and quercetin. I think it's the best transresveratrol quercetin combination on the market today, bar none. And also our brain support DHA krill. Krill's interesting. So in dementia patients, especially with the APP, which we can't test for at this point. So APP, amyloid precursor protein, and ApoE4, the APP leads to an increased amount of amyloid beta peptide, A beta peptide, and that gets broken up into little chunks and chips due to the genetic error. And because they have low glutathione levels, and they don't have any resveratrol or quercetin clearly floating around their systems to reduce that kind of inflammation. So those have both been studied and shown to help prevent that, hopefully. Fish oil contains both DHA and EPA, but DHA is the main one you want, and it's got to be phospholipid-based DHA, which is in roe or fish eggs, 75%, or krill oil, 35%. So you can eat caviar every day, and a lot of it, or use a very high-quality krill oil. And because the DHA, phospholipid-based DHA from the krill oil gets past the blood-brain barrier. Isn't that interesting?
That is really interesting.
So, and that gets into your brain, and it protects your brain. It oils your brain and prevents the plaque buildup of the A beta peptide. So it's got to have a certain amount of astaxanthin and a minimum amount of phospholipid DHA per day in the dose. Take 2 of those, you get 754 milligrams of the phospholipid DHA every day, and you get 24 milligrams of the astaxanthin versus 602 milligrams, 600 milligrams and 2 milligrams in the studies. Anyway, I thought it was the best one on the market, so that's the one we got.
Yeah.
Okay, I bored everyone with all that
Yeah.
information.
No, just to remind them,
So-
you can go learn much more about that and see all
Yeah.
that written out, everything. Just go watch the video. That dementia
This
video.
is me blathering on about it here.
Well, he'll
which-
blather on there.
Yeah, I'll blather on that. Yeah, that one. So there might be some things you can really do to help prevent the dementia. It's at least the best we have right now in 2020 until we get some long-term studies and see. It's kind of a guesstimation at what works and what doesn't work. But I don't know if anyone's tried it to the extent I have. Their ApoE4, and that's the one I have, the risk I have, ApoE4 pages on Facebook because they're so scared of it.
Really?
Everyone's so afraid of it. So, yeah, it causes late onset Alzheimer's disease, meaning when you're past your 80s, or late 70s. You don't want the early onset kind. I don't even know if you want the late onset kind. Who wants to, lose their brain when they're 85 or 83? Let's talk about PCOS.
What causes PCOS?
I don't know if anyone knows for sure. It's kind of a mystery. I definitely, all the PCOS patients I've had, and I'd say it's numbering in the hundreds now, have shown they have methylation problems, MTHFR and other methylation problems. And I think that causes vitamin B deficiency, especially B12. That in turn causes insulin receptor dysfunction, so they appear to be diabetic and they get insulin resistance and that lack of enough B12. Even when they have a normal serum level of B12 or a high level, they may not have the right kind. So if you're not taking the right kind of B12 for your genetic error, you'll build up the cyanocobalamin, the cheap B12, in your bloodstream. Meanwhile, inside your cells, if you haven't done an intracellular level, you won't know what's missing, what's gotten in, what it hasn't. And so you don't know what's going on with your insulin receptor functionality. And it causes fatigue too in these women. And it causes weight gain because they're tired all the time. They can't exercise. They gain a lot of weight. Their hormones are all messed up. They have low thyroid, low progesterone. You know the story.
Yeah.
I mean, we have family members with it. But they all have bad methylation problems.
But giving them like MTHFR or B vitamins,
some type of
thyroid,
MTHFR support,
progesterone.
some type of methylation support product, or B12 folate, like that pure encapsulation stuff. Something like that can really help.
Yeah.
So, and they notice it and they feel it and start getting better. And then their progesterone levels come up. They start producing more thyroid appropriately, all that kind of stuff. And they get a lot better.
So you'd say it's a vitamin deficiency in genetics that are causing it, right?
Well, I think that's pretty well known. That's genetics. The vitamin deficiency should always come next because genetic problems cause an inability to absorb vitamins at a cellular level.
Yeah.
So you can give them, these women, progesterone and even birth control pills, which I don't do, as you know, but because of the risks that come with it. These women have a much higher risk for strokes, clots, heart attacks, and deep venous thrombosis, DVTs, or pulmonary emboli. And so you give them birth control pills, it's a really bad choice, I believe. So if you have PCOS, just my medical opinion, I say birth control pills are not a good option for you because I've seen so many women who've had DVTs, clots, strokes, whatever, from taking birth control pills to control their PCOS. It's a bad option. So I'll give them progesterone and thyroid for a while, but as we deal with their vitamin deficiencies and their genetic errors and stuff like that, eventually they won't need it. That's the goal.
What kind of testing do you usually do for those?
I like to look at the inflammation stuff. I like to look at their methylation stuff. So I'll do a Pro 7. Do we sell the Pro 7 in SpectraCell and Cell?
They end tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah,
They end tonight?
Well,
Yeah.
that's the end of our sale. Usually we leave it up for a couple days after just for the
Wink,
insiders.
wink.
Can we do a PCOS?
Sale?
Bundle sale?
Maybe let's do that in a month or so.
Yeah, we got to prep it a little bit. But
Yeah, we got a lot to do before we can just put it for sale.
yeah.
Oh, really?
We're running low on
They
kits.
better buy it today or tonight then if they want to know what their genetics look like in that
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, while it's still $100 off right now.
Yeah.
And the SpectraCell is $100 off.
Same.
Pro 7 and SpectraCell are both $100 off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's like a free visit with me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, and then while we're talking about testing, don't we have testing for dementia right now? That
Oh
just
yeah, sorry.
launched, right?
Yeah, you can. Oh yeah, we kind of blew through that, didn't we?
Yeah.
You can get the.
I posted the link before we talked about it yet.
Okay.
No, it's
you
all
can
good.
get the dementia genetic panel just like the one I show in that video we posted. You can get that dementia genetics panel that I helped design from our danpursermd.com
Yep.
website under testing.
Yep. It's just called the
Okay.
dementia panel.
Dementia panel, it's not expensive.
It's $249, right?
Yeah.
Like a full,
$249.
well, I guess a full tank of gas now is pretty cheap. Yeah. Used to be a full tank of gas. Okay, sorry. That was a few years ago.
Maybe in your truck. I've
Yeah,
never
if you have a
filled
big
that.
truck, yeah, okay. So, okay, a
So
full
what's-
tank of gas and 2 meals.
What's special about this genetic dementia
There's
panel?
nothing special about it. We designed it.
Well, like compared to like a 23andMe, because I know they show some Alzheimer's risk.
They don't specifically go
Okay.
at it, and they miss some of the stuff. The one thing a 23andMe can do that this can't do is APP. So this comes back completely clean, yet you know you've got a family history of Alzheimer's disease. Get a 23andMe when they go on sale and see if they can find the APP in there.
Yeah.
Get it when it goes on sale though around holidays. They'll drop it from $199 to, yes, I've seen it $69. Yeah, get that genetics panel, PCOS. I don't want any of you patients suffering from PCOS if we can help you with it. Okay.
This lady, she's waiting for her Pro 7 results to come back. She's already started taking Novartis glutathione. She takes a high quality fish oil. She's wondering if she can start taking MTHFR support and copper balance while she's waiting for results, or should she wait until she sees what her results actually are?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to her, but if she wants to watch her budget, she can wait. The results should come back pretty quickly.
Is there a big difference between the Pro 7 test and 23andMe test?
Pro 7 only looks at genetic errors that you can do something about. The 23andMe does a lot of different stuff. Looks at everything. You need to get a NutriHacker complete on the Pro 7 so we can make sense of that. That compiles it for you. It's $38 to get the complete, or was the last time I checked. And you just go to NutraHacker, NutraHacker.com, and get that. That's kind of not real obvious, but it's the link to their complete version of their NutraHacker or NutriHacker. And then it tells us nutritionally what's been shown to work through studies and stuff like that.
On the dementia panel that we're now offering, does it only show Alzheimer's or does it show other forms of dementia risk too?
It shows other forms.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can have neurological dementia from brain trauma, TBIs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and things like that don't have anything to do with genetics. It's not going to show that. So it just shows the genetic errors that are known to be associated with dementia.
So this lady, she's pregnant and she's wondering, can she take or do testing now, like genetic testing?
Yeah,
Okay. So she's
it
totally
won't
fine.
affect her.
What about a SpectraCell? Would you wait until after the baby's born?
I don't know. I think the SpectraCell's, she should be on a really good prenatal, but if she thinks she has methylation problems stuff, she may want to take, like, if she's Young Living Master Formula with extra Super Bs. If she's not Young Living, then maybe Thorn Research has a really good prenatal, or Prenatal Pro by, we can send her the link, by Designs for Health is really good. Those are all for methylation problems. People that can't tolerate or absorb cyanocobalamin or folic acid.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the prenatals for most of you follow me. You can't absorb the folic acid or cyanocobalamin. That's neither can your daughters. So
What's the best help for PCOS in a teenager?
all the things I talked about, natural progesterone, make sure their thyroid's good, and you can get that. Prometrium's been around for 1 million years. You can get that prescription from your local medical doctor. You don't need me. And get their genetics because it's not going to change.
Yeah.
Get a foundation methylation kit at least, or get a 23andMe or something, and see what their genetics are and go off that.
Don't you find a lot of people with PCOS have like anxiety and depression too?
Yeah, that's why I like that Pro 7 form.
Yeah.
It shows inflammation, genetic causes of anxiety, which are pretty well known now, and or things that are genetically associated with anxiety. You want to know why you're anxious, why you have PCOS, why you're a nervous eater, while you're gaining weight like mad, while you're tired all the time, while your hormones are all screwed up. That's why you want to dig a little deeper. Get your genetics, either 23andMe or Pro7.
All I know is I know for myself because I've done all these tests myself, and it's just night and day difference when you can really dial in the correct supplements for you. And for me, I mean, it changed my life. I was able to really start moving on with things and be able to work out, and just it changed everything. And so, and many people on here, they'll tell you the exact same thing. It's really awesome. You don't know how much you're suffering until you're really feeling good.
I know, I agree. I think the number one thing I see people for is for fatigue.
Yeah.
And it's not really anything you treat with medicine or do anything with medically. I eschew that approach, and you want that eschewed. It's something you deal with supplements that can help with it a little. And you're tired because you're malnourished on a cellular level.
Mm-hmm.
And you deal with those vitamin issues, and you get a lot better.
Would the dementia test apply to Parkinson's dementia?
No.
Okay. What's the difference between a Pro7 and a Spectra cell?
Pro7 looks at 55 genetic errors that we can actually do something about, according to Kendall Stewart's work. And I believe that I've kind of helped with some of the design of that. That's the Pro7. We send it down to Austin, Texas. You swab your mouth 30 seconds each side, put it back in the tube, put it in the mailer that we sent to you, and mail it down. And then we just discuss which vitamins, what genetic errors you have, and which vitamins you should take to kind of help those things. And they do help. They do seem to help a little or a lot in some people. Also, the Spectra Cell is an FDA approved, Health and Human Services approved, intracellular vitamin, mineral, amino acid test. We used it at USC. I use it in my office. It's a great test. It looks at what can get into your cells and what you're lacking inside your cells. Remember, I'm always saying good nutrition in equals good hormones out. Well, if you have a B12 deficiency or something like that, that'll explain why your doctor told you had low testosterone and stuff like that. And you treat it, and you get to feeling better, more positive, happier, all that, and your hormones come up.
It's awesome.
So we saw it in research down there, and it helps. So it's a fun thing to do. So it gives you some natural options for your care. Still do what your doctor says. I'm never going to gainsay that, but because he's looked at you and everything, but it's still kind of helpful for some of them.
Yeah. When a person already has mild dementia, can you stop or slow down the progression?
You know, that's Mitsubishi got those papers on the BioPQQ, those articles, and they said so you take, I know the BioPQQ with ubiquinol, 200 milligrams of ubiquinol, they show a 30% improvement in memory after 6 weeks. So yeah, actually you can a little bit. And there's also medications out there that can do that a little bit, but the BioPQQ certainly has some powerful FDA validated data behind it. I mean, that's not our company or anything. It's Mitsubishi, out of Japan, but it's pretty amazing stuff. I'm surprised not everyone is taking it. You got to take the bio version. That's the natural bio version, the nanoized version by Mitsubishi. That's the one that's been validated, not the cheap Chinese knockoffs. Not validated, and they say it doesn't work very well. Those don't work very well.
Yeah. If you're allergic to shrimp or like crab or lobster, is the krill product a good idea? Or
I don't think so. I would avoid it.
Because aren't you allergic to shellfish?
Yeah, shellfish. Yeah, I have a problem with lobster and shrimp. I can eat a little bit, but once I overcome that little bit, I get really sick.
But probably...
I take krill oil. I take a lot of it now.
But if you know you're allergic, probably not.
So if in 25 years I'm not completely gorked out, it worked.
Gorked.
We'll know that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Is there a specific regime for weight loss issues associated with PCOS? Or like, is there one that you recommend?
I think getting your vitamins under control really helps with your appetite. Of course it would. And they tend to lose a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So, because they're satiated.
Once you start absorbing things properly,
right.
You can live.
Helps a lot.
Yeah. With the Pro7 and foundation methylation, everything that's in the foundation methylation test is inside of the Pro 7 test. I've seen
Right.
that question a lot.
That's correct.
So you don't need to get both those genetic tests.
No, please don't.
Yeah, just get the Pro 7 if you're interested in all the methylation plus more information. So
The comprehensive test.
yeah, we call it the comprehensive. So
Right.
is there any essential oils that you recommend for PCOS? Not really.
Not a fan.
They probably need like just lots of natural progesterone.
Peppermint because it smells really good.
Come back.
Dr. Percy
I'd like to
loves
thank
doing
you
that.
all for listening. Pretty awesome.
I wasn't
we're a
listening.
family now. Have been for a while, and I really appreciate that, and I hope you do too. You can watch this Facebook Live on my YouTube channels also, or it'll be posted on here again, won't it?
Mhm.
We record it for Facebook. Let's just do that.
Real-
You can listen to these as podcasts too, at Spotify and iTunes.
I was just going to say, specifically with PCOS too, we did a whole nother Facebook Live on
Yeah.
it a couple
This
months
one was
back.
better. This is better, I think.
But just with both of them, there's more
Yeah.
information to refer to
Yeah.
there as well.
I can post a link to that.
Yeah, look on YouTube, Facebook, or the podcast. It's everywhere.
Okay, you guys, I love you all. If you want to get some of my books, that always helps. Leave an honest review, or Google review, or comment or review on Facebook is much appreciated. Be in good health, and may God bless you.